What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, guys. Live on a Sunday. I normally don't go live on the weekends, but I wanted to go live for today's slate. Obviously, with it being the finals, this is going to be our last. We're going to have just a few more slates. Depending on how many games this series goes. NBA season could be over pretty soon, especially if the Suns wind up sweeping this series. So I wanted to go live today, kind of talk through the slate with you guys like we've been doing. If you have questions about tonight's slate, you can go ahead and throw them in chat. It's going to be a pretty quick stream, not going to be live for too long, but just, for the next 15 minutes or so, we'll talk through the slate, answer you guys' questions, whether it's Draftkings, whether it's PrizePicks, whatever. Throw them in chat, and we'll talk through everything. But what's up? I see a lot of the regulars in chat. What's up, Patrick? What's up, my man? Appreciate you being here as always, brother. Can Craig get 9 to 12 points tonight? And thank you for all the info, bro. Hey, sure thing, David. Sure thing, my man. I mean, I think Craig can get 9 to 12 points. Torrey Craig is definitely a guy I have interest in, and I really haven't played Torrey Craig at all so far in the playoffs, but his price is way down there. He's $1,000, like he's the stone minimum. I don't think it's a guarantee that Torrey Craig, is in the optimal lineup, but at $1,000, I'm willing to take a shot on him at this price tag. If he plays his normal 10 to 15 minutes, he can definitely get us 8, 9 Draftkings points, and we've seen, even though guys might not do insanely well, like the other day, Bryn Forbes was in the winning lineup, and he scored like 7 or 8 points. So even if Torrey Craig plays like 10 minutes and scores like 7 Draftkings points, he could definitely be in the winning lineup, especially if all the all the studs do well, and you kind of have to have those studs at the top. I do like Torrey Craig for sure. And yeah, he's healthy. They've already said that he's going to play. He's going to attempt to play at least. And Torrey Craig, he's consistently been in the rotation, so I feel confident he gets at least like 10 to 12 minutes today. Which, $1,000, there's really nobody at $1,000 that we even expect to play except Torrey Craig. Like, none of these guys are going to step on the floor unless it's a blowout. But Craig should play, even if it's a competitive game, should get his normal 10-ish minutes. What's up, Lamar? What's up, man? Who are the 3 players you have the most and least exposure to? I mean, I haven't even built my lineups yet, but I would say most exposure. Like Giannis, I've just been playing Giannis every slate. I know he's going to be like 90% owned, but it almost feels like you're going to have Giannis. Like, even if Giannis has a floor game, I said this in my video, even if Giannis has a floor game and puts up like 50 Draftkings points, there's a good possibility that he could still be the highest scoring player on the slate and still be a guy that's in the winning lineup. So Giannis would definitely be like a top option for me, one of the first guys in for me. Then probably like Chris Paul, I think is my second favorite pay up. In the mid-range, I'm pretty high on Drew Holiday. I think the price tag on Drew Holiday, I know he's been so up and down, but the price tag at 8,800, I do have some interest in him in the mid-range. And then like value-wise, I'm kind of looking at Jay Crowder again. I like Jay Crowder a good amount last slate. He played like 37 minutes. I think with no Dario Saric, we're going to see Jay Crowder get additional minutes. Going to see some center minutes possibly, which should be beneficial for him. I like him at 6K. I like PJ Tucker, Pat Connaughton again. Those are the guys I've kind of been, using as value plays. I like them once again, and obviously Torrey Craig as well. You can go to it 1K. Middleton, Drew, or Paul at captain. I would probably go with Chris Paul there if you can get to him. Hope you're having a great weekend. Weekend's going pretty well, Logan. What prize picks are you most confident in? I already made a few entries today. I like the over on PJ Tucker once again. PJ Tucker, he came up just short of his projection last game, but I still like over. I got it at 14.5. It's gone up to 15. Anytime the projection goes up on PJ Tucker, you're never going to feel good because obviously this is a guy that, anytime his projection goes up, it just makes him that less appealing. But still, 15 fantasy points. I think if we get 35 minutes from PJ Tucker, he can go over 15 fantasy points. So I still like that one quite a bit. I like the over on Jay Crowder. I took that as well. 22.5. If he plays 36, 37 minutes again, potentially get some backup center minutes, I think he can definitely go over 22.5 fantasy points. But I will say, like, the projections on PrizePicks today do feel really accurate. Like, not a ton stands out to me, but definitely over on Jay Crowder, over on PJ Tucker. Even like under on Mikal Bridges. I took that one earlier, kind of like that. I think his projection's a little bit too high. But the projections are pretty accurate today. I didn't go too crazy on PrizePicks today because there's nothing that really I feel great about. What's up, Ted? What's up, my man? Best utility option, 2,600 and under on DK. Probably, let's see. I'd probably take Torrey Craig there. I'd play Torrey Craig over Bryn Forbes. I'd play him over Jeff Teague and definitely over Kaminsky. So I'd probably take Torrey Craig there. What's up? Thanks for the info. Hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you being here. Over under 25 on Lopez. I took the under last slate and he went over his projection. I'm not confident that we're going to get like 30 minutes a night from Lopez. I think they're going to play Giannis at center a good amount in this game. I think we're going to see them, play that lineup a lot. So, how many minutes does Brook Lopez play? 22, 24 is kind of my guess. He played more than that last game, but I don't think it's a guarantee that he plays the same amount of minutes he did last game. So, I still like the under on Brook Lopez if I had to pick a side. And I know he's gone over this projection in 4 straight, but the minutes, with how much his minutes have fluctuated in the playoffs, I'm not confident that Brook Lopez, that he sees enough minutes to go over that projection. And I mean, last game he lucked into, like 2 steals and 2 blocks, which obviously helped him to go over his projection. If he doesn't get those 2 steals and 2 blocks, he's going to come up short. Captain Giannis with Booker, Craig, Crowder, Paul, and Tucker. I like that a lot. I think it's very solid. Middleton at captain. I mean, if you want to go that route, I don't have a problem with it. Middleton should be pretty low owned at captain, I would say. Especially, whenever Giannis is healthy, whenever Drew's healthy, like Middleton's never going to be he's never going to be that popular. Best captain option for the price. I mean, I would say, if I can get to Giannis, I want to play him at captain, but I don't mind going a little bit cheaper, maybe playing Chris Paul or maybe going to like Drew Holiday. But I think Giannis, even though he's expensive, I want to try and play him at captain. And I'm willing to take a shot on Torrey Craig at $1,000. So, if I play Giannis at captain, play Torrey Craig, that's going to free me up some salary to where I can still fit in some decent pieces around that. What do you think about CP3 at captain, Giannis, and Booker in that order? On FanDuel, I mean, I think FanDuel's scoring is different FanDuel's like roster construction is different from Draftkings. So the price tag doesn't really, if you try and play Giannis at captain on Draftkings, you're going to spend a little bit more. Whereas, it doesn't matter. They're all the same price tag on FanDuel. Like, their price tag doesn't change depending on where you play them. So I would just play Giannis at the top spot. It's like that on Yahoo. It's not. Draftkings is a little bit different when it comes to the captain thing because if you want to play like an expensive guy captain, their price tag is more than normal. Their price tag, I guess, goes up, I would say. Ayton or Drew? I think Drew might be lower owned, so I guess I would take Drew, but I think, Ayton and Drew, most nights are probably going to score around the same amount. They project very similarly. They're probably going to play similar minutes. I think Drew will be lower owned, so I'd probably just go with him. Top 2 captains, I mean, it's probably Giannis and Chris Paul for me. Would you play the big 3 from the Bucks could be different? I mean, I really haven't been playing all 3 guys in the same lineup. I think it's unlikely that you see Giannis, Middleton, and Drew all be in the winning lineup. I don't think a lot of people will do that. So, yeah, if you want to do that to get different, that's fine, I guess. But I feel like the possibility of Giannis, Middleton, and Drew all being in the winning lineup are pretty slim. Seems unlikely that would be the case. Thoughts on Forbes? I mean, Forbes, he's cheap. He's going to play probably 10 minutes. Could play maybe a few more. Could play a little bit less. Bryn Forbes at this point, you guys know what Bryn Forbes is going to do. When he's on the floor, he's going to stand in the corner. He's going to take a couple threes. If you play Bryn Forbes, you basically got to hope that he makes, every 3-pointer he takes. So if he takes 4 or 5 3-pointers, you pretty much got to hope that he makes all of them. And if he doesn't, well, you're probably going to get a pretty mediocre game. So I don't feel great about Bryn Forbes. I'd rather just go cheaper, play Torrey Craig, who could easily outscore Bryn Forbes, and he's $1,600 less. And he'll probably play more minutes than Bryn Forbes will as well. Torrey Craig will. Holiday or Booker? I'd go Booker there if you can fit him. What's your take on free throws made on PrizePicks? I mean, I haven't really looked at that too much, John. I know that's something new that they added, but I don't know if there's really an edge in taking free throws made. I feel like you're kind of guessing with that. We really don't know how many times a guy is going to go to the free throw line. I mean, we can try and guess. Obviously, someone like Giannis, someone like James Harden, those guys are going to go to the line a lot because they get fouled a lot. But let's see. I mean, so Devin Booker he went to the line how many times? He went to the line 0 times after going to the line 10 times the game before that. He took 10 free throws in game 1, and then he took 0 free throws in game 2. So Yeah, I mean, just free throws made is kind of a random thing. I'm not going to really get into that too much, I don't think. But I know, that's something new they added. I get people want to try and, try it out, see if they can succeed. But I haven't really done the free throws. Why doesn't Bobby Portis get more playing time? And do you think he should be DFS viable? Do you think he should DFS aside? I mean, they seem pretty content. Like, playing Giannis at center just seems to be their best lineup right now. So, really, I think what the Bucks probably should be doing is just play Giannis at center and then get a lot of shooters around Giannis. Middleton, Drew, maybe PJ Tucker out there, get Pat Connaughton out there. Like, that's been their best lineup so far is Middleton, Drew, PJ Tucker, Pat Connaughton, Giannis. Those 5 guys on the floor. Bobby Portis, he only played like 5 or 6 minutes last game. I really don't know how many minutes he plays today. He could play 10, he could play 15, he could play 0. I mean, we just don't know. His price tag on Draftkings is, I think, too high. At $5,200, that's just too high of a price to really have any confidence in him. If he was like 2K, I'd be willing to take a shot, but can't go there at $5,200, I don't think. Ayton and Craig or Tucker and Crowder? I go Ayton and Craig there. Giannis at captain with Drew, Middleton, Ayton, Craig, Pat Connaughton. Again, playing Giannis, Drew, and Middleton all together, I don't love that. Like, I probably would take either Booker or CP3 over one of the 2 Bucks guys, whether it's Drew or Middleton. But I guess that's fine. I mean, I don't mind that lineup, but again, like, I just feel like the possibility of Giannis, Drew, and Middleton all being in the winning lineup is just pretty slim. Is Tucker a great value play? I mean, PJ Tucker's never a guy you're going to feel great about for value, but there's not a ton of options that cheap that are going to play the minutes that PJ Tucker will. Like, he's consistently been getting 30-plus minutes. If he plays 30-plus minutes again, which he should, he's probably going to score 15 to 20 DraftKings points. There's a good possibility that he could maybe luck into a little bit more than that, but in terms of minutes, like, there's nobody this cheap that's going to play the minutes PJ Tucker will. So that alone makes PJ Tucker a good value, in my opinion. What's up, bro? You helped me pull out a win. What are we ultimately doing with Brook Lopez also and Nader and Jeff Teague? I mean, Brook Lopez, again, like, I just don't know how many minutes Brook Lopez plays. Game 1, he played 23. Last game, he played 28. We saw early in the Hawks series, he wasn't playing much at all. 20, 23, 25. Obviously, he played big minutes when Giannis was out, but now that Giannis is playing, I think they're going to play Giannis at center a good amount in this game. I think Brook Lopez only plays like 24 minutes. I don't have that much interest in him, but if he does get like closer to 30 minutes, he probably will do well at his salary, but I don't have any confidence he gets 30 minutes or 28 minutes. So I'm kind of off of Brook Lopez. I've really just been fading him the whole playoffs. I don't really like him that much tonight. Nader, I don't think Nader even plays. Was he even in the rotation last game? I have no idea. He wasn't even in the rotation last game, so no interest in Nader. And then Jeff Teague. I mean, Jeff Teague's played way more in this series than I thought he would. He's played like 10 and 12 minutes, but yeah, I don't really have that much interest in Teague either. I'd rather just play, again, like Torrey Craig for a little bit cheaper. Look blurry. Should be good. Gary, maybe you want to refresh or something, but this stream should be good to go, or it should be, HD. Also, who gets in foul trouble with 34 going to the paint, getting fouled like he has? I mean, I guess Ayton could maybe get in foul trouble, but so far he's done a pretty good job staying out of foul trouble. Really, the entire playoffs, Ayton has done a good job not getting in foul trouble. I mean, last game he had 4 fouls, but that didn't really impact his minutes. He still played 42 minutes. I mean, again, we can't predict foul trouble. Giannis is a guy that's really good at drawing fouls, but good luck guessing who's going to be the guy that picks up those fouls. It could be Ayton, it could be Crowder, it could be Bridges. Who knows? What's good to know what they changed all your picks on PrizePicks. I got in before the change. Yeah, I saw that. I like the under on Brook Lopez. I think I can't remember. I think it was under on. It was either under on Lopez or under on Bridges, and they bumped. I know they definitely. Bridges' projection was 26. It's 25 now. But they did bump up Tucker a little bit. They did bump up Crowder a little bit. Yeah, so all the kind of all the picks I like, they made some changes. But they didn't change too much. I think, still you can take the over on Ayton, the over on Crowder, the over on Tucker. Who's a top fade tonight? I mean, for me, it's probably Brook Lopez or Mikal Bridges, I would say. Mikal Bridges had a really good game last game, but it's 7,200. Like, I have no interest in Mikal Bridges. And if he goes out there and puts up 35, 40 DK points again, so be it. But Bridges is just not a guy I really want to play, especially when his price is coming up. He's one of those guys. He can put up 30 DK points one game and then put up 15 the next. So I would say Bridges is probably like my favorite guy to just stay away from. I took his under on PrizePicks already, so I'm pretty much full fading Bridges, I would say. Craig is in for sure. Yeah, I think they already said that he's going to play, or he's going to give it a go, I would say. That's what they reported. Thanks for taking the time out of your weekend to help us out, Noah. Super cool of you. Hey, just appreciate you guys being here, man. Stream wouldn't be the same if you guys weren't in chat, asking questions. Helps to keep the stream flowing. Drew over Ayton. I mean, I kind of lean that way just because I think both guys project very similarly, and I think Drew will be a little bit lower owned. Ayton's been super consistent in the playoffs and in this series. He's been playing a ton of minutes, but I think Drew will be a little bit lower owned. I probably would take Drew there, but they project so closely, in my opinion. Pat Connaughton over Tucker. I mean, those are two guys as well that I think project very similarly. I think Tucker probably plays a few more minutes than Connaughton does. Both guys are not very good point per minute players. I probably would just choose the guy that plays more minutes, which I think will be Tucker. So, yeah, I think I'd go Tucker, honestly. So, Ayton over Middleton, if I have Giannis and Drew in the same lineup, I lean that way, Logan. I just don't think it's likely that Giannis, Middleton, and Drew are all in the winning lineup. And, I've said it so many times in the stream, it's going to happen, I'm sure. It's going to happen, tonight. All three of those guys will be in the winning lineup since I basically said I don't think it's going to happen. But, yeah, if I was building out a lineup tonight, I probably would set a rule to not have Ayton or not have Giannis, Drew, and Middleton all in the same lineup, I think. Middleton is due. He had one average game out of his last 5 or 6. I mean, Middleton, Drew, both those guys have been pretty bad so far. It's just, when Giannis is healthy, you never know what you're getting from Middleton or Drew. But could they come out and do really well and, finally shoot the ball well? They've been shooting the ball terribly. They have upside, but it's just so tough to predict when you're going to get that big game from Middleton or big game from Drew when Giannis is playing. Whereas when Giannis is out, it's just you play Drew, you play Middleton, you move on. Seems like a Middleton game, if Milwaukee plans to make it a series, he plays better at home. Hey, if you want to buy into that, King Carter, then play Middleton. Am I dumb to play Middleton over Holiday to get different? I mean, I think Middleton had the worst game last game, yeah. When it comes to Middleton and Drew, man, it's just I think you just play the guy that's lower owned. I mean, you never know. It could be Middleton could put up 50 tonight, Drew could put up 30, or it could be the other way around. Drew could put up 50, Middleton could put up 30. You just never know with those two guys. So I would say play the one that's lower owned. If Middleton's going to be lower owned than Drew, I guess I'd play Middleton, but I really don't know. I mean, I don't look at ownership projections. I don't have access to them, so can't really help you there. Who would be in your lineup if you knew the Suns were going to get blown out? I mean, if you told me that Milwaukee wins by 30 or something, then I probably would just play. Then I would probably play Giannis, Drew, and Middleton all together, and then maybe some bench guys or something. I don't know. I don't really build lineups hoping for a blowout, but if I knew that the Bucks were going to win big tonight, I probably would play a lot of Bucks. But the spread's 4 points. It should be a close game, I would say. How do you feel about Kaminsky as a punt? I don't really have any interest in Kaminsky. I liked him a little bit last slate, but it didn't really work out. He only played 40 seconds. So Kaminsky probably doesn't even get in the rotation tonight. I would just play Torrey Craig over Kaminsky. Middleton captain with Giannis, CP3, Ayton, Craig, and Pat Connaughton. I think that's pretty good, Chrissy. I like that. You like Torrey Craig at 1K? Yeah, we've already discussed Torrey Craig. I think, he's definitely a punt option I have a good amount of interest in. He's been around 3K, 2K this entire playoffs or really this series, and he's not really been someone I've looked to. But now that his price has dropped all the way down to the minimum, I mean, Torrey Craig could play 10 minutes tonight and score 8 DraftKings points and could be in the winning lineup. So, yes, I do like Torrey Craig as a punt option. If you go with Torrey Craig and he gets you like 8 or 10 points, that could be good enough if it allows you to get in Giannis and Chris Paul and all those top guys who are probably going to do really well. Tucker and Drew or Ayton and Pat Connaughton? Man, that's so close, Ethan, because I think Drew and Ayton project very similarly. I think Tucker and Connaughton project very similarly. I probably would go with the first one, Tucker and Drew, but man, that's a coin flip, really. I mean, that's super close. Kaminsky won't play unless Ayton is in severe foul trouble. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought there was a chance that Kaminsky would pretty much take the role that Dario Saric was playing, so he would get like 6 or 8 minutes, but obviously that wasn't the case. They're probably just going to use like Jay Crowder as the backup center whenever Ayton's not on the floor. That's what they did last game, which obviously means Kaminsky is not really going to play at all. Middleton isn't that low owned. I mean, I don't think he's going to be low owned, but he might be lower owned than Drew, I would say. And that's really that's the deciding point, when it comes to those two. But they'll both probably be 40-50% owned, like they kind of have been this whole series. Is Torrey Craig a lock for you tonight? If not, how much exposure do you have of Craig? I mean, again, I haven't built lineups yet. If I was playing one lineup, I would definitely be playing Torrey Craig. If I was playing 10 lineups, I wouldn't have 100% Torrey Craig, but he would probably be one of my more higher-owned value guys. I think for value, I'm looking to P.J. Tucker, to Pat Connaughton, and Torrey Craig, those guys. And I'm not saying Torrey Craig's going to go out there and break the slate tonight and score 30 DK points, but he doesn't need to do that. Obviously, if he scores 8 or 10 DraftKings points, that could be enough at his 1K minimum salary. PrizePicks overs. We've kind of already discussed a few. A lot of the stuff I talked about in my video, I kind of like still. They bumped up the projections on Jay Crowder. They bumped up the projections on PJ Tucker as well. But I still like the over on both those guys. Over on Tucker and Crowder. Already took those 2 picks today. The rest of the projections feel pretty accurate. I mean, it's tough on PrizePicks today. They did a really good job with their projections. Like, there's not a ton that stands out to me. These are definitely my 2 favorite picks. I would say third favorite pick is probably under on Mikal Bridges. I know Bridges had a big game last game, but I think his projection's a little bit too high because of that. Normally, he should be projected around what Crowder's projected. I think 25 is a little bit too high for Bridges, so I like the under on that one. But definitely over on Crowder, fantasy points, over on Tucker, fantasy points are kind of my 2 favorite picks on PrizePicks right now. Torrey Craig's projected for 11 to 12 fantasy points, assuming he's 80% owned. Assuming he's 80. I mean, usually guys that cheap never get that much ownership, but I think Torrey Craig will get some ownership for sure. Like the day that Cam Johnson was like 2K or something, he was like 60% owned. I don't think Torrey Craig will be that popular, but he'll definitely be probably 30 to 40 if I had to guess. It's hard to find guys at 1K that are going to get meaningful minutes, and Torrey Craig will actually play 10 to 15 minutes, whereas none of the other 1K options will do that, unless it's just a blowout or something. Craig over Teague, salary doesn't matter. Yeah, I would take Craig over Teague. Not 80% owned. 80% healthy. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what his health is right now, but if he's playing, I got to assume that he's close to full strength. I mean, Torrey Craig, does he really need to be fully healthy to do what he does? I mean, it's not like he's a star player and he's going to have a ton of usage. I mean, he's just, on offense, he's going to really stand in the corner. So you just got to hope that he grabs a few rebounds, maybe gets a steal or 2, and he'll be good enough at his price. How do you feel about Cameron Johnson tonight? I mean, I liked Cameron Johnson a lot in Game 1 when he was so cheap. But now that he's like 4,600, I mean, he was way too expensive last slate. He was 6K last slate. Today he's 4,600. I still think he's a little bit too expensive. Like, Cam Johnson's going to play probably low 20s minutes. He probably scores 15 to 20 DraftKings points. I feel like I could get similar production from PJ Tucker, from Pat Connaughton, and I expect both those guys play more minutes than Cam Johnson will. So if I'm going to go to a value guy in that range, I'd probably just rather play Tucker or Connaughton, who are likely to play more minutes without Cam, or more minutes than Cam Johnson, I should say. Thoughts on Portis? Yeah, Portis is too expensive. 5,200. I can't go there. The fact that he only played like 5 or 6 minutes last game, it's a red flag for me. So no interest in Portis. He's just too expensive. Do you do NFL too? I do NFL, yes. So, in the next month or so, and I think NFL starts in September, early September, I'll definitely be making NFL content. And for sure going to be streaming on Sunday morning before the NFL slates. Really, really excited for NFL season. You think DK priced Craig down because they thought he may not play and messed up? Yeah, they've done that before. Guys will get injured and then they'll just be really cheap the next day. I think that's what DraftKings did, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Torrey Craig, that's a pricing error. He should not be 1K. Really, anyone that is consistently in the rotation should not be 1K. I can't seem to find a way to build a lineup without playing the $3. If that's like the top 3 guys, if you're talking about Giannis, Drew, and Middleton, I mean, I guess you could play all 3 together, but I've said it, I just think it's unlikely you see Giannis, Drew, and Middleton all in the winning lineup. And maybe it'll happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. Cam Johnson came back from being sick and he was 2,800. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why DraftKings does that, but whenever a guy gets injured or is out for a game, it's like when they come back, their price just drops for no reason, really. How many DK points do you think Forbes needs to be in the optimal? I mean, it kind of depends on the top guys. Like, if a lot of the top studs do really well, Giannis, Booker, Paul, if all those guys, do well for their salary, you're probably going to have multiple guys of the top 3 or, multiple studs in your lineup. And if you need multiple studs, then whatever value guy gets you 10 to 15 points is probably going to be the value guy you need. So I guess maybe 10 to 15 from Bryn Forbes, probably a little bit less than that. Maybe not 10 to 15, but I would rather just play Torrey Craig. I think Torrey Craig can easily outscore Forbes, and he's way cheaper. Is 100% Giannis too much? I mean, I don't think so. I have no problem just hitting the lock button on Giannis. Now, I don't know if I'd play 100% Giannis in the captain, but yeah, definitely whether that's, 100% Giannis exposure and then you're playing maybe 20 or 30% in the captain, that's fine with me. Winning lineup will be the Bucks' big 3. Yeah, I guess we'll see, but I just think it's unlikely that all 3 are in the winning lineup. But we'll see. I might be proven wrong. Is CP3 a winning captain? I mean, he's probably my second favorite pay-up option at captain behind Giannis. So, I have no problem with CP3 at captain. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. As always, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. A little bit of a shorter stream on this Sunday, but appreciate you guys being here as always. We will be live again. I think Wednesday is the next game. I think Game 4 is on Wednesday, so we'll definitely be live on Wednesday for Wednesday slate. Obviously, I'll have a video up for Wednesday slate as well. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Real quickly, if you have not checked out PrizePicks yet, they are the sponsor of this stream. PrizePicks. Been playing on there a lot lately, been having a ton of success. I know a lot of you guys have signed up for PrizePicks. You've been able to have some success as well. We talk about these over and these unders, the over-under on all these players. If you want to check out PrizePicks for yourself, maybe get some entries in for tonight's game. I'm someone that doesn't really enjoy Showdown. Like I've said that before, Showdown's not my favorite, so I like to play on PrizePicks. Just better way to get action on the game, in my opinion. So check out PrizePicks, guys. Link down below in the description, or use promo code NOAH when you sign up. You'll get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, and you'll get an entry into their $1 million promo. You look on the screen right now. It's something they're doing till the end of the playoffs. You sign up, you make your first deposit. They'll send you an email to a link to this $1 million promo. They give you 5 questions to answer. You go 5 for 5. You win $1 million. It's as easy as that. And even if you go 1 for 5 or 2 for 5 or 3 for 5, whatever, you still do win something. You can check their website. They have all the prizes listed for the promo. But check it out, guys. Link down below in the description. Or just use promo code NOAH when you sign up for PrizePicks. But yeah, appreciate you being here, guys. Good luck tonight. Enjoy the game. we will see you guys again on Wednesday. Game 4 is on Wednesday, so we'll see you then. Good luck tonight, guys.